Quite a while ago, I heard a parable about enlightenment. Someone asked a teacher, "What is enlightenment?" And he said, "I'll give you an example of it, a parable." And here's the parable. Imagine this. You've got a family you need to feed. You've just gotten fired, and you're feeling really bad. And you come home from just being fired, and the kid next door had hit a baseball through your window. How would you feel? And what would you do? If you're upset about being fired and you see the ball through that window, it's possible you might go to your next door neighbor. You might get angry enough where you might throw the ball through the window to get even. You might go in and yell at them. But if you're in a bad mood from being fired, you might do something that you regret and impacts the relationship. So this is case one. Case two is you just won the lottery. You come home and the window is broken. How do you feel? And what do you do? You've just won a lot of money. You can fix the glass. There's no reason to get upset. You feel calm. And you might go to the next door neighbor and talk to him and say, "Did you hit the baseball through this window?" He might say, "Yes, I'm sorry, I'll pay for it." And you might be feeling so good, you say, "Don't even bother paying for it." And what does this do to the relationship? And enlightenment, what is enlightenment was the question. Enlightenment is when you walk around with a sense of well-being and contentment. And when things go wrong, it doesn't upset you. And what is the characteristics of enlightenment? You're solutions-oriented, proactive. When things go wrong, you're relaxed enough, you're calm enough, that when you respond, you can do it skillfully, compassionately, kindly, and constructively. You're conscious of your thoughts and emotions. You're self-reflective. You're comfortable in your own skin. You're confident, content. You have a sense of well-being, non-reactive. And agency, you take personal responsibility. You'll take care of it. Something's wrong, we're going to fix it. Now, we just are in the middle of a book of Buddha's brain, and he talked about a lot of things. One of them is the amygdala hijack. Well, if you've lost your job and you see the ball going through the window, it triggers you. You're angry before you saw the broken window. You see the world through this through this anger, and the world looks bleak, and you react, and your amygdala has been hijacked. And this was talked about, I'm not sure which chapter, but in Buddha's brain by Rick Hanson. And by the way, Rick Hanson is one of the leaders in positive psychology. And what is positive psychology? But the capability of using your mind to train the brain, to train your brain to the point where when things go wrong, you're non-reactive. You can be constructive. And so they're training gratitude practice, compassion practice, meditation, so that when things go wrong, you can think clearly. In his chapter 3, he talked about the second arrow. What is the second arrow? This parable gives an example of that. It's horrible that you lost your job. It's horrible the kid hit the ball through your window. But you can go next door, and if you hit someone, what may wind up happening is that you could be sued. You could get in trouble. You could ruin the relationship with your neighbor. So you have this real problem of the broken window, and your reaction makes it worse. That's the second arrow. So this parable is an illustration of that. In positive psychology, the way that you use your mind to train your brain is to constantly feed it positive thoughts. And that's what chapter 4 was about, savoring the good. Think about all the good things that have happened to you. When something goes wrong, losing a job or a ball going through the window, you're feeling good about yourself, and you'll focus on doing the most constructive things to take care of it. And also, this whole class, all the series of discussion groups we had is about meditation, which trains your mind to be aware of when you have been hijacked, so that you won't get the second arrow. But this is a very simplistic story, and if someone would listen to it and play the devil's advocate, they'd have a good question. How can you feel like you've won the lottery when really bad things happen? You really have lost your job. You can't feed your family. You lost your spouse or your child. You see the horrors of war. But no matter what those situations are, and they are horrible, we always benefit if our actions are skillful, compassionate, kind, and constructive. And we can't really do that until we're aware that something's wrong, aware that we're not about to do something skillful. And that's what meditation practice does. And if we can constantly cultivate practices throughout the day that nurture us, like gratitude practice, compassion practice, when things go wrong, we will be in that same state of mind that we would have been if we won the lottery. Maybe a better state of mind. But these, these are big things can happen to you. Loss, if you lose a loved one. But with weightlifting, progressive resistance is how you get stronger. You start out with small weights and build the muscles up. Start out with little things that you do that when you get really annoyed over small things like red lights, traffic jams, spilled milk, or you get upset someone has a different belief system, doesn't believe something different than you. I've seen people who said our first date was on a Wednesday. No, our first date was on a Thursday. And it escalates. You don't need to be right. And sometimes our need to be right escalates problems. I could be wrong, you could be right. Let's move on. When you do this, when you're able to center, calm down, and relax for these little things, when the big things come, you'll feel really bad when you're angry. You're not used to it. You know there's something wrong. Increases the chance that you'll react in a constructive manner. It may be a horrible thing to do, but sometimes when horrible things happen to us, we do things that make the situation even worse. That second arrow. Chapter 4, which we just covered, is the fact that we are Velcro for bad experiences and Teflon for good. One of the practices that I do and has helped me see this with myself is before I go to sleep each night, I start by repeating to myself, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I try and think about all the good things that happened to me. And I have noticed once something very good happened to me, and then something small bad happened to me. When I lie down to go to sleep, all I was thinking about is the bad that happened to me. And then I remembered something very important and good had happened. And now, whenever I know that I'm triggered, when I'm really angry about something, even if I can legitimately be angry about it, I know that the more I think about it, my thoughts are hurting me. It's the second arrow. And I just try and say thank you, and think about the things that can be helpful. So notice throughout the day when good things happen, savor it, get a felt sense of what gratitude feels like. I find it helpful to say thank you, thank you. And whenever you're triggered by negative thoughts, redirect to think about the positive thoughts. And the meditation practice, if you do it, and the longer you do it, the more capable you will be to identify when you're triggered and redirect. One more thing I'd like to say that came out of the discussion about the talk is I don't want to make this look easy. It is really hard to do a regular meditation practice. It's hard to get the mental discipline to do that, particularly when big things have happened. So it is difficult. It takes time. But over time, as you take personal responsibility for things and know more, your wisdom grows and your mental discipline grows. And to help relax you, we're going to go through a guided meditation. And what I'd like you to do is find a meditative position that you feel comfortable. It may be lying on your back. It may be sitting in a lotus position. Or for most of us, it's sitting in a chair or couch with your feet flat on the ground. If you feel comfortable, allow your eyes to close. It might be helpful if your back is straight. And if you'd like to, you may want to have your hands on your lap. And now what I'd like you to do is begin by breathing in to the count of 3, breathing out to the count of 3. And then over time, slowly increase the count. Don't go beyond 10, and don't strain yourself with the breathing. Continue to breathe long, slow, and deep. And if you'd like to continue continue counting. Or stop the counting and get a felt sense of the breath. For me, I focus on my nostrils as I breathe in and try and get a felt sense, actually to feel the air coming in and out of my nostrils. If there's some other place where you feel the breath more vividly, focus your attention on that as you breathe in or out. Or you can just continue counting as you breathe in and out and not get the felt sense of the breath. Be curious. Notice if there's more air going in through your right nostril or your left nostril. Is the in-breath longer or shorter than the out-breath? Do you feel the breath more vividly when the in-breath or the out-breath? Is the air coming in and out cold or hot? Be curious, be detailed, be focused on the felt sense of your breath. Now we'll make it a little bit more challenging. If you're counting, stop counting. If you're breathing deeply, just breathe naturally, but still get the felt sense of the breath. It's a little bit more challenging, but it takes more focus, more determination to feel the felt sense of the breath when you're breathing softly, breathing naturally. Eventually, there'll be a wave of experience. It could be a thought, could be an emotion. That's okay. Just bring your attention back to your breath. Feet walk, minds wander. Notice the voice that you use to talk to yourself when your mind wanders. Be kind, compassionate, loving, and forgiving when your mind wanders. That's what we're practicing. Focus, concentration, compassion, forgiveness, and kindness. Eventually, your mind will wander, and eventually, you'll become aware of it. Notice that instant where you've woken up. You're aware of what you're doing. You're aware that you're thinking. You're aware there's an emotion. That guide that wakes you up is called mindfulness. That moment of being awoken to the reality of what's going on in your mind. And it will happen over and over again. But over time, you'll get better and better at knowing when your mind is distracted. This is a practice. We're growing from it. We're getting stronger from it. And now we'll do some of the aspirational practices that Rekanson teaches. First, smile and keep repeating to yourself, thank you, thank you, thank you. we'll start our gratitude practice. And as you say thank you, thank you, thank you, what are the things that pop into your head? What are the things you're grateful for? Or the people you're grateful to? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be thankful for the beauty of nature, sunrises, sunsets, the flowers, the rain, the water, the abundance of nature. Be thankful for our friends, colleagues, and the members of our family who nurture us, encourage us, inspire us, take care of us. Be thankful for the teachers, the mentors, the guides that have helped us on our journey of life. You can do this gratitude practice whenever you feel down, whenever you've been triggered, and do it throughout the day for a minute or 2 minutes. It's a micro practice, or it can be a full-time practice. Same thing with a long, slow, deep breath. Do it throughout the day whenever you need to relax. The next micro practice we'll do is of loving kindness. Picture someone you love deeply. Wish them well. Wish them happiness, peace, content. Smile at them and imagine them smiling back at you. Let them know in your own words how much you love them, care for them, admire them, appreciate them. Know that they feel your love, that they know you are thinking of them. They know you care, that you are healing, loving, and kind to them. See them smile. Feel connected. Feel part of them. And they are part of you. This is another micro practice or a full-time practice of loving kindness. Now, for each and every one of you, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May you always meet with spiritual success. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome the inevitable problems, difficulties, and failures in life. May you rise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. May we all be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to us. May we always meet with spiritual success. May we also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome the inevitable problems, difficulties, and failures in life. May we rise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. And now savor this feeling you have right now of peace, contentment, joy, calmness, equanimity. Your mind can change your brain. Just nurture it with gratitude, loving kindness, compassion. Meditate, relax, find peace of mind. And now rub your hands together. Cover your eyes. And if you like to, raise your hands above your head. And I want to thank each and every one of you for attending today, for your comments, for your insights, for your presence. Have a good day and a good week.